I got tuck settled. Gray started to come down the sidewalk. She saw Stripe. He didn't do anything, and then she ran. Let's get these guys up the hill. This is how good a guy Donnie is. Instead of sitting in there enjoying his paper, he's out here detailing the car so we can leave for the meetup and Ruby will look good.
That's right.
I love you. Thank you. I know it's a big ask at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning.
It's all right, sweet pea. I'm hanging with it.
Don's getting his coffee. We'll be out of here in just a minute. I was admiring the lilies here on the right of the frame, the pink and the yellow. Those are those clearance lilies I got at Walmart. They really have had a lot of nice blooms. The only thing I planted last year that didn't do good were the two hardy hibiscus. They basically both have a sprig up out of the ground, but they haven't done anything. So I guess it's too shady or too dry or both. But it did not like where I put them. I don't know if I'll try one again sometime. They sure are pretty. But that's the of everything I planted last year, that's the only thing that didn't do good. Everything else is looking great. So we've got partly cloudy skies this morning, but the sun is popping through. It's 73 out there, but pretty humid. We were, you know, it's a good thing we didn't need to fully wash the car because we never got it dry this morning. It was that humid out there. And we're making good time and just chatting about all kinds of, you know, normal things Tesla people chat about, like solar and, you know, generators, and we were remembering hurricane situations and how you deal without power for 7 days, and just, you know, lighthearted conversation on the way to the meetup this morning. Since we've had such good luck with where we put the transponder in Jules, which is, he took the frunk out in the Model Y in Jules and put it up in a spot up there. He's thinking now we probably should do that with Ruby. Why not? It's working so well in Jules. So it takes ordering a different transponder, the one that has the loops, the holes through it, the little edges on the side or whatever. Whoa, race a Model Y. Grab a controller, use the wheel to steer, pull trigger for acceleration, push trigger for brake reverse, go, go, go rules. Please don't step on the track and have fun. I like it. I like it a lot. We must be... So this is the Owner's Club spare tire. If you're going on a trip, you can borrow it. Way cool.
Full-on Model 3 wheel.
I like it. Way cool. I'm impressed with the cover, for sure. The Tesla cover. Way cool. The last meetup was from 1 to 3, and we were, what, or 12 to 3. We were all here a long time, and this is 9 to 12 today, and people are trickling in because it was a little earlier, I think. But, you know, it's the second meetup. The first one, no one was going to miss that. Hey, Kendall! There's a lot of good discussion going on today. I was telling, gave a demo on how to tell it's a Model X versus a 3 versus a Y versus an S. You know, the Model X doors handles are side by side. Somebody said, oh yeah, well the 3s are all chrome and the Ys are all black, and I was like, no, sorry, the new 3s are black now, so that won't help you. Here's a prime example of a newer 3 with the blacked out, I mean brand new, like paper plate 3 next to a older 3. So you can't go by that entirely anymore. If it's chrome, it's probably a 3, but if it's blacked out, you got to look at the little bit closer. I've demoed the back seats. I haven't showed you guys this for a long time, but you know, you just push the button and the seat moves out of the way. And it will move the front seat too, not just the middle seat if necessary. You can see Ruby rarely has her seats up in the back, but I was demoing that too. You know, people are interested about the 6-seater. Here's the little, you can barely see button, and you press that and you hear a little motor and it puts the headrest down, and then you can push it forward. So it is easy to do, especially if you're standing up. I tried to do this one while I was sitting, and Dawn came and grabbed it for me. That made it easier.
So I've got half track.
So yeah, I haven't done the light show yet. I've been waiting for a few kids to show up, but I am going to do the light show. I am. I don't blame you. Ruby's very popular. She's had all these people totally around her, so I'll have to wait until there's a few less people, and I'll do the light show. All right, go Ruby, go. This is my favorite part of every meetup. Yeah, they were just saying this is worth every penny for this car, and I totally agree with them. And every time I hear this song, it puts me in a good mood. Wow, that's pretty fast. Well, if I'd have known we'd have had this set up, we should have brought a couple of our Cybertruck remote controls. Right, because we got Cybertrucks. You know, they are Teslas, aren't they? Yeah. They really are Teslas that he's just painted to have a color so you know which one is which. I think so.
Yeah, they're all Teslas.
They are. I can tell the body design is really a Tesla.
You had maybe some lights inside, like a light structure.
Right.
So I was like, okay, you know whatever. And then I heard
The music start.
I listened because I was playing Citizens Racetrack. And I came around, I'm like, oh my god.
Every Model X does that, and only the Model X, because it has the actuators in the doors, the self-presenting, it, you know, makes sense to do it on that car.
You set that up.
Well, it came with the car, and I just know how to kick it off. And that song and everything, yep. Yep. If the car's wings open, then when people drive by, they'll see the interesting car, and they'll come and talk to all the Tesla owners. So we try to always drive the X. But then I can do the, because I was someplace and I can't do the light show, I would just be like bummed.
If I was trying to use a left-hand control.
So.
Oh, that's all right. I'll go get. I'm going to put some of these in training mode. The bodies don't have a tight fit, so they.
Does that step down the gearing a little bit on it?
Yeah, the throttle, it cuts it about half.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. So that way you maybe not go quite as fast as the wall.
Yeah, that's the good.
Which causes the body to pop off.
Yeah, I was telling you guys, I race these on Saturday nights about every couple of weeks out in Smithfield.
Okay.
Hobby shop out there. So not Model Ys. Those are just 3D printed for fun.
Okay, so these are, but you set up the track here today for everybody. Okay, wow, way cool. I noticed so 3D printed, it's not tape or paint, well, that is so cool. So you can put whatever car body on it you want.
Exactly. These are the actual race ones that we race with.
Okay.
So these are about $400 cars. And then there's more detailed ones. I'm going to paint this one to look just like my blue. That's resin printed.
Wow.
It's liquid resin that's hardened, and you get a lot more detail out of it. So
wow, I'm impressed.
Into the walls too hard.
All of the things.
This is a great idea, a really great idea.
And like, I mean, clearly that's well overqualified. Like changing out a light.
It's noon. We're out of here. Thank you, Donnie. Got to open the door for me because my hands are full of, we're in Ruby. Yes, we're in Ruby.
That's right, we're in Ruby.
Had such a great time talking with these people today. A little smaller crowd, but such great conversations. So we're gonna take a short stop back at the house and I'll check on the kitties and refill our water bottles and stuff. And then we're gonna head to Siler City because the Supercharger over there is open. They've paved, it's ready to go. People have been charging and we're gonna go check it out. Got either a Y or a 3 behind us here on 55 heading into Fuquay. There's a lot of glare, I can't quite tell. We're going pretty fast, so I'm not rolling the window down. Hi Marty, we're home. That's not your normal spot. It's an okay spot, but it's not your normal spot. Not that we plan to be gone that long, but I put down a little more food because Marty is a frequent and large eater. I saw Marty and I saw Slate, and I really don't want to stir up the rest of them wherever they're sleeping in the heat. It's very humid here today. Don is adjusting his autopilot settings in Ruby. Thank you, Donnie. If my hands weren't full, I would have just hit it.
Yeah, I understand.
Thank you. I told him you were doing autopilot, reviewing your autopilot settings. Don, for a while, had enable at the start of every trip set to off. He's put it back on now. Exit passing lane, he has switched to no because it annoys him when it tries to go back and ping pongs. Require a lane change notification, he's set to no. He just doesn't see them. He's watching the road. And he does not want to miss exits if he's not paying attention, so the car will, get us over now. And
it'll chime though.
Right, it will chime to let you know it's getting ready to do something. And the only thing he didn't change was speed-based lane changes is mild, because what he's trying to do is he's trying to get the car not to ping pong back and forth because of slow traffic. I mean, he doesn't want to sit behind somebody going really slow for a long time, but he doesn't want the car like, oh, I got to get over here. Oh, I got to get over. Right. We don't drive like that, so we don't want the car to drive like that. Anyway, he can try this for the day. Do we know if this is exactly what he has in Jules? No, but we think this is good for Ruby. We're sticking with Ruby for the day because she's already out of the garage. We cleaned her up this morning pretty good. She's down to 138 miles, which is way more than we need to get to Siler City, but we'll actually, have it be low enough on charge that we can put some charge in while we walk around and look at how they finished it up. And did I miss anything?
No, I think you got it. And Jules, I had charged up to 80%, so if we took Jules, it would basically be a waste of time to try to supercharge.
Right, we could plug in and she would charge, but it would be, who cares?
20 kilowatts.
Yeah, who cares at that point? So we're going to enjoy Ruby. And I checked the Storm Prediction Center because I got to be your weather girl. And we don't have even a level 1 risk. It may rain on us, but there's no bad weather expected. Although I found that when they swear we're going to get bad weather, we don't. And then out of the blue, we'll have 1-inch hail. So, but eye always to the sky.
Yep.
Donnie, that don't look so good.
Wow. Look at us.
Having to get off Highway 42. So Don was taking us down to Sanford.
Just because
to make a little loop. We weren't in any particular rush. We like this route. He's driven it a lot of times lately with Jules, so just to try it out with I don't know. There's only one way to cross the Cape Fear River, so we got to get back over to 42 to cross the river, or I guess we'll just plug in a route that takes us north sooner than later and not actually make it to Sanford. We'll see.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Because we do not have any. Don knows where he's going. There's nothing plugged in on navigation here.
You should just probably plug in Siler City Supercharger.
Well, let me. Okay. Yeah, we're 12 miles from Harbor Freight, which we're actually not headed to Harbor Freight. I told Donnie to be so proud. I still have 4 unused storage containers.
That's right.
So it is trying to tell us up here we can turn left onto Moncure Flatwood Road. And then it can get us back over to 42, I guess, if we want to do that. Oh, but look what it's going to do. It has us go up here, and then it's trying to, I think it's trying to take us back where we got turned off from. I don't know. See, there's where we got to cross the river, where my finger is.
Yeah.
And there's only the one crossing, and we were over here. I don't know that we can get there. I don't know.
Well, I'm following this, and I have not seen the detour sign, because obviously they're going to have a
next turn detour.
Right.
Huh. I mean, seriously, folks, there's only one spot down here to cross the Cape Fear River, and that's that spot on 42, or you don't cross it. I mean, and it's a significant river.
Yeah.
Huh. Might have been holding the camera a little too far away, but there's the details. You can sort of see what it's having us do. But of course, we're over here because it turned us off of where we were.
Right.
We could get to Sanford on US 1 if we'd known in advance that we wanted that was, you know, the road was closed or whatever, but that's a big mileage. I mean, that's a big detour. All right, so Siler City's 27 miles. Don just said what's the mileage going to look like when we get there.
So
33%. So we have a little play here. We have some play, but yeah.
I don't really want to go back. I guess I'd just soon go back to Sanford and then go up. I'm just, you know.
Yeah, 421 instead of this back road stuff over. Well, it's taking us back up to 64. Who wants to do that?
So you should probably go back to Harbor Freight.
Go back to, okay.
Just in case this thing doesn't tell us where to go.
Where to go. Okay. If we'd have wanted to go over on 64, we would have went totally different way from the house than Howard.
Right, if I'd known this, I'd have went 420. I would have went down to Lillington.
And got on 421 in Lillington.
Yeah.
Okay. And just to say, technically right now, we are pretty much in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina, although it's not as nowhere as a few other spots, but there's, you know,
We ought to be seeing our detour sign.
Our detour sign. And once, Don's just trying to say it's a detour sign the same way the car's trying to tell us. Maybe if we had navigated the Harbor Freight just to get an eyeball on Sanford in the first place, the car would have let us know there was a road closure. I'm guessing it's washed out or something, like over the Cape Fear. Some water came over the road, but I don't know.
We're not going to go on that gravel road.
Is that where it wanted us to go, on that gravel road there, Donnie? No, you got to be kidding me. Ruby, we don't take gravel roads, sweetheart. You need to unprogram that.
Yeah, well, this is perfect. We're going to go up to US 1 and then go down.
And then go down to Sanford. All right.
And then we'll come back up to Siler City. This will be a nice long meander, but we would have went through New Hill if we'd have known that.
Yeah. Past the train spot I've showed you before.
Yeah.
There are several, let's take the back way from the house options.
Yes.
All with nice scenic views that don't take us straight 55 to 64, which is boring. Right. So the detour sign said old US 1. And Don said he's just for curious. It's not where the car's telling us, but it's where the detour's telling us. So we're going to check it out.
Yeah, you should look behind us and see if it says detour.
I can't see anything. So we're following the detour. Don and I have been on this stretch of road before. He thinks it's a little bridge not over the Cape Fear. Before the Cape Fear River Bridge, that's the one that's closed. And we're just in for penny in for a pound.
That's right.
Anyway, we're following the detour just because, even though obviously this is not the shortest route to get us where we're going, because we just are out having a fun Saturday afternoon and seeing where Ruby and the detours take us, I guess.
Well, when you have an electric car, this is the kind of stuff you get to do. It costs you less than 3 cents a mile.
So Duke Energy had a Cape Fear plant over there. I have no idea what goes on at that plant. There's a lot of high power lines coming to and from that facility, though I guess I'm gonna have to go read up on it. It's not Sharon Harris, but I don't know, they have hydroelectric on the Cape Fear over here.
I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't know what that would. I'm gonna have, inquiring minds are gonna have to go figure that out. And there's solar over there, which we've seen before. But yeah, there's a little bit of solar over there. So Don said it's worth finding out which bridge it is, because we come down to Sanford regularly enough that if it's going to take a while to rebuild a bridge and this detour is going to be here, we'll know to get on US 1, you know, for the foreseeable future.
Yep.
Instead of coming on to 42. So here's the 42 junction, and we're on the detour, so it can't tell us we can't go.
Right.
I mean, it's good news as far as I'm concerned that it's not something wrong with the bridge.
Right. This is normally where we would turn. Well, we can't turn at all. It's like local traffic only, I guess.
Right. This is normally we're coming from that direction, huh? Well, I tried.
I guess I'm going to.
Dawn's like, I'm going to pretend I'm local traffic because I just want to know you. I just want you to know out here today that he's not being anywhere near as careful with Ruby's wheels as he is with Jules, but only because she's got real tires.
That's right.
But he hasn't slowed down. I mean, you could tell, I think he's enjoying not worrying about rims and stuff today. So this house over here, they're putting in a development around it. I was very sad to see that that was going to be impacted. I like that old house over there.
Yeah, that bridge that I'm thinking it might be the one that's out is just down here around this curve and down the hill a little bit, and boom. So we'll see where the outage is.
Yeah, I had LTE and I tried to look up NC42 closure. Corinth is where we're near.
Yeah, we're in
Moncure. Maybe I could have put in Moncure. We're technically in Moncure now. But I couldn't get any information. You would have thought it would have, Google would have popped up a hit. Now's when I need a survey for Google. Did our Google search results tell you? Because almost all the time it's like, yes, it was great. The results were exactly what I suspected. Except for, well, it's not this little bridge.
This is the bridge I thought it was going to be.
Huh. Well, we got time.
Yeah, well,
and we got miles. We got range. There actually is a level 2 charger in Moncure at US 1.
Well, I'm going to go to the church.
Okay. Can you get through there? Yeah, you
I'll
can.
Be careful. I'm going to go to at least to the church here. I mean, I'm not going to.
1,000 feet. So, yeah, 1,000 feet. So now we know we're really close to whatever the problem is.
Yeah.
feet. I think there was a day where we got a ½ an inch where Siler City got like 5 or 6 inches. Not in the last week, but last 2 or 3 weeks. Obviously, since the last time we were to Sanford, whenever that was. So that's possible. I mean, it could just be it's time to rebuild this bridge, or it could have been washed out in some water. I don't know.
I think it's a total fallacy. I think.
Well, we're at 500 feet now, so somebody please explain to me. I see pipes up here. I see pipes. I see the actual road closure, and I see pipes. There's nobody behind us right now.
There's nobody behind us.
Okay, so the road is legitimately disconvenient to person with the driveway here.
Right. So that is not a bridge. They're doing some kind of.
It's possible.
Well, it's possible it eroded there. It does go drop off down to the side pretty good. Hard to say.
They had a water pipe break and it washed out something or something.
Huh. Well, I guess I have hopes that they can fix that in a week or two, whatever that is, versus it being, you know, Christmas time. And because that bridge Don and I drive past all the time down by the environmental park to our house, they did rebuild that bridge, and that was down for over a year to rebuild. They had to put in a I mean, it was a disaster. So I know how long it takes them to rebuild, move, fix bridges. Hopefully this is not that.
Yeah, I think there's a culvert that goes underneath the road there.
Let me zoom in.
And I don't think it eroded anything. I think they're having pipe problems of some type, and they're putting that culvert crossing is complicated, and so they're having to work on it more than they wanted to.
Well, now we know.
Typical Tesla Ruby adventure. Wandering around North Carolina.
Yeah, Dot and I get excited about the oddest things sometimes. I'm sure you folks think. Yeah, a couple drops on the windshield. I don't know if it's really going to rain or not. Can't pull up the radar, no signal. We've been checking crops in the field. Soybeans here to our right. We've gone past quite a bit of tobacco today too. Some of it was high, some of it was low.
Yeah.
Don says this is the brake check spot.
Yes. Right up
Oh,
here.
yep. And you can see the speed limit stayed 55, but Ruby went all the way down to 36 and then started to increase back up. And she does it in Jules and she does it in Ruby every single time at that spot on this road.
Yeah.
And for years now. It's like not a new problem. It's not a new problem and it's not a fixed problem. We have no clue. They're on Avents Ferry Road coming into Sanford just before we pick up 421 to go up to Siler City.
Yep.
So you too can come and test it. We are on Rives Chapel Church Road, taking the back way up to 64. Don hopped off of 421 so we could just, you know, try out this other road.
It's a skinny little thing.
It is. He had us on autopilot for quite a while and Ruby was beeping from time to time. She wasn't sure what to make of it. She handled it fine, but she was grumbling about it.
Right.
We're here. The lady at the stoplight, she kind of looked over at me. These people in Siler City, which is relatively rural, we're going to be getting used to seeing a lot of Teslas coming through town now. They probably come through before, but now they come through, browse, stop, stay a while, you know. And there it is, all nice and paved and...
Yeah. Oh, it even has its own crosswalk.
Wow, stop here for pedestrians, it says. Wow. I'm impressed. Well, we will get out, take a look. We're going to go ahead and plug Ruby in.
Yeah. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yep, see down there on the end, the crosswalk. Oh, the first thing before you plug in, this lip that I told you about,
Still there.
it's still there. It's a good solid 2 inches. Don't kill yourself over here. Are you close enough to it?
Yeah. Barely.
Barely.
Could have parked a little better.
Well, you're not parked that bad, but yeah, you're a little crooked in the space.
Yeah.
And not touching. You know, they measure for the touching the cement.
Yeah. I should probably back that up.
Let's see what we're getting.
I hear fans.
right.
120. I don't know what she'll charge.
There,
it.
she went up to 153. That's, you know, because this is V3, so it's what, 250 capable.
Yeah. You know,
Ruby's down to 62 miles, so she's just over 20%. Has just over 20% of the battery. Yeah, that's true. Thank you for remembering. We need to be hot.
Well,
We're gonna get max speed.
Just want to see what it'll hit at. 155.
It's loud because she's cooling.
Yeah, it's a nice toasty day. It's 85 out there, and it's every bit of that. 157, 158. Was she gonna break 160? 160. Wow.
Have we charged Ruby before on a V3?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
167, 107. Wow, 170. Gonna have to send this to Kyle.
Yeah, I was just picking up so I could Snapchat him. He'll appreciate it. Thought it's a momentous occasion here in Siler City. Ruby's getting her first version 3 250 kilowatt capable charge. Ruby is apparently quite hot and really got those fans on right now. Totally normal. Well, Ruby's air conditioning's not super quiet either. But yeah, Don was just a little, I guess he was so, we're gonna say he was so excited to plug in here for the first time that he just didn't quite back in straight. And obviously if somebody, wow, I like this spot on the end. Look at how wide that freaking spot is. This is my spot when we come next time. But by myself, I'll be pulling it over here. I think it's a little weird where the cement is and where the lines are. Yeah, I mean, really, you gotta think, even if, I mean, I'm glad it reaches. I know why they're not longer than they need to be. But if you think about where the cement is and the wheel is and the stripe in the middle, I want to see other installations that they put the stripe in the middle of the actual pedestal. So I think when we leave here, well, I'm gonna walk up the hill in a minute. I bet Don gets out too, but it's pretty hot out here, let me tell you. But they did not clean up the stuff they threw in the woods over there, so that makes me a little upset. This not so much, but the stuff they've put in up there, which I think was the power company, because that's where the service was ran. Anyway, they should come clean that up. The landscaping with the mulch and these little bushes back there looks good. It is, I don't know what good that would do you besides a crosswalk, but there's a little extra space there. That's fine. I'm just trying to understand what the thought process was by exactly where the stripes are. I'm gonna have to go back and look at some other Supercharger pictures now. But I mean, yeah, I guess you want your wheel on the side with the charger to line up as close to where the wand is as possible. So I guess that makes sense. I've convinced myself the stripe in the middle of the pedestal area is good. Remember last time I were here, we pointed out that the two slabs, prefab slabs, talk to each other underneath that surface panel there. There's a couple pieces of stuff. These two pylons, something needs to happen with them. The permit box is still here. A couple extra pieces of pipe. So hopefully someone will come up and police the area one more time and take care of the rest of this. So I walked the hill and I came over to where we saw they had put in, you know, had come in this way with the service, and you can see the asphalt's been put down here. But you were not correct about additional telephone poles, power poles.
But they cut into the ground. That
Right, it must have been here in the ground. Something along those lines. The Supercharger's just behind Dawn. Last time we thought they were going to run out to the street and maybe add a couple of power poles, but it appears like maybe the power was already here underground, and so they there was all this wire, big thick chunky wire the last time, and apparently they've dug up the ground here and connected in underground. Obviously we had no way of knowing it was already there under the ground.
It's very warm. Yeah, I can't keep my hand on it.
Wow, Don said if we'd have thought, we would have done Kyle's trick with the wet rag.
Yeah.
That hot, really?
That hot. It'll burn you.
Holy, I mean, I wasn't that I didn't believe you, but yeah, I mean, it's a good thing this is not, I mean, I don't know that I want to have to unplug it.
Right.
Maybe hot pot holders are in store for Teslas for the summer.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, the unit's also making a lot of noise too. So the air cooled, and it's only 85 and there's a breeze, for goodness sake. It's not like it's really hot. I see they're missing a bolt on the sign down there.
Kyle.
They're missing a bolt. Okay, you gonna do that Kyle thing?
Yeah, do that Kyle thing.
Well, that ain't saturated enough. I knew what that was. We got places. We're gonna go get us a tea at the Smithfields, unsweet tea. Use the restrooms. There's no, I mean, I can walk down to Food Lion and use the restroom, but I'm not. And yes, it wasn't your imagination that Ruby decided to close the door, and I don't know why she did that. But there's nobody in the car, and she did that all on her own, so if you wondered. Yeah. Supercharger's hot, my daggone camera's hot. I've had to switch out of 4K, but I wasn't paying attention, and I come down, and my foot, well, let's see if I can get it in the sun. My foot was on that, can't get it in the sun. My foot was on the, that ledge, and you feel it if you go over it. I mean, you can see that's an angle. So, you know, like I said, I'm not going to harp on it. We know there's a lip there. Maybe Tesla will see this happened at this installation and do things a little better at another installation. It's communication between the prefab slab and the contractors on site doing their thing about the right height to get the grade. I can't imagine that's intentional. So it's about 2 inches in some spots. Technically speaking, if you don't want in your trunk, you know, and you back in right, not so excited you back in straight, but you might not have to go up there, but if you do, you sure don't want to fall down from there. Well, we can look on the video or in Teslafy what time we got here. I don't know. It's 3 minutes to 3 p.m. and she says 12 minutes to go to get to our 80% charge is what she's set to. She's down to 79 kilowatts, which is still a worthwhile speed to continue to charge. It's not, you know, so usually we look at 70, less than 70, less than 60 kilowatts. It kind of gets not worth it.
Right. Well,
if you can make the next Supercharger. Talking about road tripping, you know, we're just here because we're having fun. We got more than enough to get to the house, and yeah.
Yeah, at this point,
I mean, I think we could technically almost could have gotten home without even charging.
That's right.
At 20% range, but
yeah. Well, we wanted to plug in, and also, like I said, this is probably, if we were trying to go somewhere, we would be leaving. I don't know that sitting.
Right. Well, we can make any of the other nearby Superchargers, so we would not wait any longer to move.
Yeah.
And just to explain for any new Tesla people or non-Tesla people, the way the charging curve works, and I'm just talking Tesla here, I'm not talking other EVs, although there are similar concepts with other EVs, is you're going to get the maximum amount of charging speed at the lowest amount of battery charge. So in other words, you pull in at 10% of your battery left, so you're all the way down to here, it's going to dump in really quick. But as it approaches full, it's going to dump in less and less. And that's a battery protection you know, preserve the life of the battery scenario there. And Porsche and the Bolt and I mean, they've all have a slightly different way, methods or calculations for the charge curve. We call it the charge curve because, you know, it's not a straight line. You automatically pull up, you plug into a 150 kilowatt charger, you get 150 kilowatts. That would be straight line, right? Yeah. The curve says you pull in and you get something high, and over time it moves to something lower as you fill the battery. So the battery's going up, but the charging speed is going down. And so we're still getting 212 miles per hour added, which implies with our battery we would be here over an hour charging if that was the only charge rate we got for the entire charging session. However, you saw we were getting, I don't know what it was, but over double. Like, this is 140 kilowatts double. We were at 175 kilowatts. So it dumped in a bunch of miles really quick, which is why a lot of us will charge just for a few minutes and then just leave for the next supercharger, because that's just the least amount of charging time on your trip, but the most stops. So it just depends. You know, if you want to eat, then you don't care. You bump it up to 100% and you watch the phone app. If you want to stop to eat at the next stop, then you're just gonna charge and go, like charge until it tells you you can make the next supercharger. And there's not any superchargers from here that we couldn't leave now to get to. There's multiple options. You can see them up here on Don's unplugging us. We've got 183 miles of range. We have free supercharging, so that doesn't cost us anything. We don't just automatically charge as much as we can just because it's free. But if we stop at a new supercharger, obviously we plug in, say we've been there, get a little bit, and then head to the house. Me, we would have liked nothing better than to have gotten 2 combo platters. It almost killed us to smell the food and not get any of it, but today is not a splurge day, so we got a large unsweetened iced tea to share. Keep Don good and awake until he gets to the house. Yeah. And we appreciated using the facilities, but if you're passing through, you should really eat at the Smithfields. You can stop and get a value pack and eat at the Supercharger if you need to. I only have 2,811 steps, but I'm pretty tired. I guess today's going to be an off day. We'll get back at it tomorrow morning.
I was going to say, I can drop you off and you can huff it in.
Yeah. Yep, it's raining. I guess all those boaters done got off Harris Lake pretty quick. That's where we're nearby now.